Hi, Evan Pantazi. Wanted to talk to you about Kyusho in your kata today. Now, I'm not a proponent of putting Kyusho in your kata. I'm more of a proponent of putting your kata in Kyusho. And if you train the Kyusho in spontaneous and rapid drills, you become more adept at the Kyusho than if you were to try to do a whole bunch of bunkai as example. But just to give you some insights into this methodology, take your blocks. Okay, you have your upper block, you have your middle block, you got your lower block, and instead of thinking of them as blocks, why don't you think of them as grabs? Instead of using the clenched fist, use a clenching fist. That means your fist is actually clenching into that fisted position and grabbing something in the process. If you're coming up high, maybe you've grabbed someone by the hair and you're pulling it down. Okay, if you've grabbed a little lower, maybe you're grabbing someone by the throat and pulling off to the side. If you're grabbing someone by the shirt or gi, you could be pulling down in a downward block action. So again, all these actions in your katas can have more than one meaning. You just have to take a look at it and ascertain what you want to do. Whether you're going to use the already clenched fist, or you're going to use the action of the clenching fist to perform that block. And if it was just a block, why would it be in all the kata? Okay, why would it be in a basic kata the same as it is in an advanced kata? There's got to be varying degrees of use for that tool. And the tool is not the forearm per se. It could be. You could be striking at the side of someone's head or neck or body or wherever you're hitting. You could be using that blocking action to break a joint like an elbow. You could be using it to break or dislocate. I shouldn't say break a joint. That's just the common misnomer that everybody uses. You're actually dislocating a joint. Real hard to break a joint because there's nothing solid to break. You're going to break you're going to damage the cartilage, you're going to tear that, you're going to tear the tendons and the ligaments, but you're not going to break it. So the joint is going to dislocate. So I correct myself on that. It's just a force of habit, I guess. Even using the word block is a force of habit. When you use everything and you term it a block, then that's your mentality. That's what you're locked into thinking. But if you're thinking of it as a tool, okay, then you can start to look at all aspects of that tool. The forearm, as I just explained, the knuckles of the fist. Maybe you're using it as a back fist type of an action or a thrusting type of an action. Maybe you're using it as the grab, as I was mentioning even earlier. So again, it's how you use your tools and how you think of them. So if you call it a block and you think of it only as a block, well then yes, it's a block, okay? And it has limited scope and range. When you start thinking of it as a tool and having different uses or different ways of using that tool, then you have unlimited supply of information at your fingertips. So again, the Kyusho helps us because it gives us the targets that we're actually attacking. And it gives us a focus on the possibilities and how we could adapt to that target. And as you adapt to that target and you start moving in spontaneous action with a increasing stress level, then you're going to start to see these tools that you've trained for a long time come out, but only targeting this time as opposed to just blocking. Because in Kyusho we don't block, we rather attack. And that word seems to be the one that's getting most of my videos unmonetized or demonetized here on YouTube. But there it goes. I've used it so many times that it's starting to get to be a habit, just like using the block, just like using a clenched fist compared to a clenching fist. So think of what you're saying, think of what you're telling yourself, think of the possibilities if you think of your tools in a new way.